Hey everyone, let's try this again. I just started it a minute ago and forgot to put my phone in Do Not Disturb, and a call came through ASAP. So today's episode of Makeup Monday is Make Me Blush. It's all about blush because I see so many of my clients and friends and just acquaintances that wear their blush and their bronzer in completely the wrong place. So today is going to be quick. There's not too many ways to slice and dice your blush. So just a few fun little things and some blush products that you probably didn't even know we had. So first of all, we have powder blushes, as you know, and that's what most people are aware of or what they use is a good old-fashioned powder blush. But we also have something that I have always loved, and that's a cream blush that many of you may not even realize that we have. I know I had a cream blush years ago that I kept that thing until it was just nasty because I love a cream blush. I think it stays on longer. It has a dewy look to it, and so a lot of people just don't even think about cream blushes. So, and then of course in a pinch, you go out of town or you're running somewhere at the last minute, you just grab a lipstick, which is basically a cream blush. So you can kind of, and I love to layer a good cream blush under a nice powder blush. Then you get the best of both worlds. And so if you don't have a cream blush, just pop out a lipstick that you love and a nice, rosy tone or even a deeper red or a cranberry for the fall. But you want to use a big fluffy brush to make sure it goes on a little light-handed. So I've taken my blush. I was full makeup, ready to walk out the door, so I've gotten it all off. But I do have primer and foundation on just to save time. So, and I am going to do a drawing today. So, and I'll tell you what that is in just a second. So, my foundation and my primer, I just have some CC cream and primer on, and that's all I have on at the moment. I look like I have a little remnant of leftover blush, but just pretend you don't see anything. So I generally do the wet products first, and then I will come back with my dry products. Back in the day, I would have done all my wet products, and then I would have powdered heavily, and then done my blush and all of that. But as I've gotten older, I've really had to lighten up on the powder because of the lines and the crinkles and all of that good stuff that I know a lot of you can feel my pain. So, first of all, first things first is I always start with a bronzer. Now, I love, 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 love the new brushes, the new brush set that we have because we have this angled brush. This makes it great for coming in and contouring your cheek, hitting a little bit on your jawbone if you're like me and your cheeks are all of a sudden right here instead of up here. So I'll come back and shadow that a little bit. So I just dip that into my blush and I'll come in. And like all my videos, this is not for the advanced makeup artist. This is not Kim Kardashian contouring. This is just basic everyday woman. Let's get some bronzer and blush on and get out the door. Hello, Jen. So we're going to take a little bronzer. And I generally will hit right below my cheekbone. And I always start at the ear and come forward because the first place that you touch is where you deposit the most color. And so you want to touch back here so you don't dump a lot of color up front. So I'll kind of do that side a little heavy just so you can see the difference. I just rubbed cream blush all over my chest area. It's going to be attractive. So just so you can see the difference in the two sides. So you see how that's going to give me a shadow and a little more of a contour. So we'll come back, do the other side. I love this bronzer because there's very little sparkle in it. And so if you're older like me, I have to be real careful with heavy, heavy shimmer. So I'll take the blush, come down this side, and I'll start from the back and come forward. Bronzer is kind of like a 3. You kind of want to do a 3 like that. And that's kind of traditionally the way we do bronzers. Hit the temple, come down under the cheek, and then dust the jawline with it. And that's kind of the rule of thumb for bronzer. But I tend these days to hit a little heavier on my jaw and this little thing I got going on right here. Since it's Thanksgiving week, my turkey neck, I'll be joining right in with the Thanksgiving turkey. So a little bronzer, hit the temples down there. Now, I like to do my highlighter next. Just because I'm older, I love some shimmer, I love some sparkle, but I need to do it before my blush so I can kind of tone it down a little bit. So I'm going to take the other side of this brush. You know, in a perfect world, you have a bronzer brush, you have a highlighter brush, but for most of us that are lazy and always in a hurry, I'll do one side for bronzer, one side for highlighter, and smack dab the middle for my blush. But I will hit the highlight just right up here. And I love this new Moscato highlighter that came out in the with the Beauty Club this past month. And if you guys aren't on Beauty Club, you know, it'll ship December 1st. And I already kind of have the heads up about what's in it. And you're going to want it. $100 worth of stuff for $35. So if you're not in the club, send me a message and I'll make sure you get added to the club. Okay, so I highlight right outside my temple up here and the very top of my cheek. I really have to avoid coming into this area because too many sparkles on the front of my face is not pretty. And I always hit the tip down the center of my nose, and I'll take this and kind of hit my Cupid's bow area. And you can also dab a little highlighter right in your lip if you want that little shimmer. Hello, Jane. She's the one that called me a while ago. I know this is a weird time for me to be live, but I have a crazy day, so I had to just jump on and do it. I also love to take highlighter, and y'all seen me do this on a lot of eye videos, and I will finish my eye with that pop of highlighter right there, and it just gives you such a dramatic eye makeup look. So, but this is so silky and such a pretty highlighter. A little on my chin. Okay, then is when I come back with the blush. But to show you guys how to use the cream blush today, I do take a different brush for that because I don't want to put cream in my powder, the one I use on the bronzer and the highlighter. So I am going to dip into there are 3 colors, Blooming Berry, Pinkaboo, and Tuscan Sunset. I'm going to use just a dab of the Blooming Berry. And I've put it in this little, you guys, this is like a kid's artist palette. I was going to order a really expensive, fancy makeup artist one, and I thought, that's crazy. This does the same job. So I'm putting it in there, but I'm kind of rubbing it right back off. And then I will come in, and you know, your blush should typically be 2 fingers from your eyes and about 2 fingers from your nose. And that's kind of where you want your blush to start and finish. This smells really yummy too. So I love a cream blush because it gives you such a, it's a deeper, more intense, and it just lasts all day long. Okay, so that's a little bright, but remember, I've not powdered yet. So, like I said, back in the day, I would have done foundation and then powder, but now that I'm older, I tend to go straight into my bronzer, blush, and highlighter and powder at the end, so I don't have so many layers of powder on my face. I love this cream blush. This is, and I forget about it a lot, but after today, I am going to use it, especially in the fall when we get so dry. It may look different on there, but it is so gorgeous, especially with that Moscato highlighter right there. Now, if you want to kind of set it, you can come back with your regular powder blush and just kind of lightly go over the two, and you will have blush on all day. If you're the kind of person that your blush really disappears throughout the day, then this is a great little technique to do. And you know, everybody's surprised, but the tourmaline is the lightest blush color that we have, and it has so much pigment. So don't think you got to jump into the deeper shades. It has got a lot of pigment in it. So it's a beautiful, beautiful blush. And just a little bit about the blushes. I know if any of you are NARS girls and you love a good NARS blush, the #1 selling blush, I think in the world, is the NARS Orgasm Blush. Well, we have an exact knockoff, an exact dupe of the NARS. If you can see this right here, here's the NARS. And then here's ours, and it's called Flirt. Theirs is called Orgasm. Ours is called Flirt. Ours is more family friendly. So it is literally same size. If I depotted this, I literally could drop this in here. Same size, everything. So so we have that color, and then we have, I think the most popular one for me so far has definitely been the rose. I think it's Rose Petal. And then we have a deeper blush that's called Lilac Dreams. And this is that dark cranberry that everybody's always searching for in the fall. And then here is the rose petal. So if you can see the difference in the two, I don't know if the lighting is really reflecting that, but the Lilac Dreams is a much deeper, more intense. The rose petal is that traditional, perfect baby pink blush that everybody loves. But then the tourmaline is super, super, super soft and light. And I find that it just is the perfect amount of color for me. And I especially love it to layer over the cream blush. The two make a beautiful combination. Okay, so I've got bronzer, blush, and some highlighter on. Now is when I would go back with my damp beauty blender, and I'm going to take the translucent powder, and I'm just going to do a little baking right there. I really have a dark circle right there today. I love this translucent powder. It's not as white as the one we were used to before. See, it's got a little more, it's translucent, which means it doesn't deposit any color, but it's not as white and chalky as the one that we had before that I actually really liked a lot, but I like this one even better. So I always take a damp beauty blender and I will pack this because I had concealer on, but maybe I took it off of under my eyes. And I just kind of do it through the T-zone. And this is going to really help set my makeup and help it stay on all day. Remember, I have the HD Flawless Primer, which also helps your makeup stay on forever. And then when you're finished, I will come back with the powder, the Ultra Finish powder. I wear the medium shade with the chisel brush. You guys, it's buy one, get one free. You need to jump in and get several chisel brushes. So you'll have one in your bathroom makeup, one in your purse. Y'all, that just already looks so flawless and smooth. But remember, I've put no powder on yet. So I'll go back with my powder in the medium shade, which is probably good if you were used to N3, N4, Y3, those kind of shades. And then I'm just going to go back and just go over and dust off my whole face. And so a lot of you may think it's bizarre to do that after your powder, but I find that it looks like I'm blushing from within instead of powder just being on top of my, blush just sitting on top of my face. And so it just gives you such a flawless, gorgeousness, such a pretty look. So anyway, so try that. If you've never done it that way, do all your wet products, your CC cream, your concealer, or your liquid foundation, whatever. Start with your primer, do your liquid, and then instead of jumping into powder, jump into your bronzer, a dab of highlighter, and then your blush. And then go back and do a little baking with a good translucent under the eyes, through the T-zone. And the idea is to let that bake, which means you want to let it set for a bit, so your body temperature and the powder and all can become one, and it helps keep your makeup on so much longer. And then I'll come back at the end and do powder. And I am looking in a really heavy-duty magnifying mirror here, and I just don't see powder sitting on my face. This Ultra Finish powder is so light, so beautiful. And then you just throw a brush and a powder in your purse, and when you want touch-ups, this is what you use throughout the course of the day. So let's see. And that's really it. Like I said, there's only so many ways you can slice and dice blush and bronzer and powder. And so try that. A few little tips, and I am going to do a drawing, and this time I'm going to do it on Wednesday, obviously, because Thursday is Thanksgiving. So for all of you that watch the video, and comment, do you like liquid blush? Have you ever tried a liquid/cream blush? Or do you like powder blush? What is your favorite? So just comment, or if you've never tried a cream, but maybe you think it's going to be your next purchase. I mean, it is just gorgeous. It just gives you the best luminosity, especially during this time of the year when we get a little dry and crusty through our face, which I slapped on a little enzyme peel and did that before I did this video today. So I'm all smooth and crustless. My face looks very, very, very poreless. So that's it. Just try some of those tips. Let me know what you think, but comment. have you ever used a cream blush? Or do you only use powder? Maybe you're thinking you might layer them, especially for the fall. And something about the cream blush that I totally forgot, that I forget about. Let's see. I'm gonna take my lipstick off. All I have on is the nutmeg liner and the perfectly pink gloss. But you can also take the blush. It is a lip and a cheek tint. I forget about that. Oh, that's so pretty. So it is a perfect, oh, isn't that pretty? So can y'all see how pink that is? Cream blush. Have you used a cream blush, Jane? So that is the perfectly pink, or either it was the berry one, I forget, the blooming berry, because I have them all three smudged on my hand. But you can use it on your cheek, and then you can dab it on your lips. And so, what a cool concept. So anyway, you guys, I know there weren't a lot on the live today because this was a really bizarre time to video. But you guys comment, cream blush, powder blush, and what I'm going to give away is a blush brush that you can use for blush, bronzer, or the new cream blushes that you're going to get. And I'm also going to throw in one of these little makeup artist palette. I love to use this to squirt my blush out on. I'll squirt my eyelash glue if I'm wearing fake lashes. I don't know why that light's going in and out. And when I'm doing weddings and proms, or if you need to mix a makeup color, I love to squirt some colors in here and then be able to mix them together. And it's got a great little finger well so you can mix and then paint from. So I'm going to mail out a blush brush and the little makeup artist palette. So comment. I'll do the drawing Wednesday sometime after lunch. I hope you guys have an amazing holiday week, Thanksgiving week, and just know that I am very grateful. I'm so blessed. I'm so grateful for all of you, what you bring to my life. Those of you that have believed in me and come on this new journey with me, I'm just beyond grateful and humbled and so blessed to have all of you as a part of my life and my new journey. So I will, I'm going to do a video later on this week about the BOGO sale that's going on, but I just wanted to get our little Makeup Monday out there. So you guys comment. If you have any other questions, just let me know. Have a great week.